Hello and welcome to the latest episode of Q&A with Sridhar Kunde. I am Nilofer Khan, features writer with Better Photography, and I'll be your host for this series. In these set of videos, we will be looking at questions that were sent to us by you that cover technique, jargon, and camera operations. So let's look at the first question. It comes to us from Shalini Ghosh from Kolkata. She asks, "What are the best settings to use when photographing children?"
Thank you, Shalini, for sending this question to us. As everybody is aware of the fact that the children are very fast and so erratic in their actions while they are playing or while they are sitting or whatever they are doing, even on the easiest of time what they are at home. So if you are shooting the children indoors, I will suggest you to increase the ISO to say with the newer cameras. You can easily go up to ISO 1600 or 3200 and keep the camera on continuous focus mode. So even with they shift their position or they come towards the camera or though they go away from the camera will always track and lock focus on them. The higher ISO will allow you to get higher shutter speed, and you can, if it even goes with the lower shutter speed, you can take some beautiful blur and add some effects to the image, final image. So that is the setting. Even if you are shooting children outside in the daylight, in the bright daylight, playing outdoors, the easiest way I can say, you can put the camera in the sports mode. So there are a lot of subjects mode available on the mode dial, from which you can normally, if you are a professional photographer, you will shoot on manual mode, aperture priority, shutter speed priority, or program mode. But as a additional advantage, you can take advantage of the subject mode, in which you can choose the sports mode, which will be most appropriate while shooting children outdoors and in a bright daylight.
All right. Okay. The second question comes to us from Amar Singh from New Delhi. He is asking how and why to use the back button focus.
See, first of all, you need to understand what is the focus on button which is available on the back side of the camera does. In normal circumstances, when you half click it, the camera will latch onto the focus and you will get a beep sound. And when you completely press the shutter release button, the picture taking action will get completed. Focus on button, which is available on the back of the camera, will disengages this from the shutter release button. So the shutter release button will have only one action, that is, it takes only the pictures. The focusing part of it, or the focusing action of the camera and the lens is taken care by the focus on button, which is available at the back. So this is the disengagement of the autofocus with the shutter release button. Now the second point, why you need to use it. So there are different scenarios which will will be advantageous to you when you disengages this action. First of all, it allows you to very easily choose between the autofocus and the manual focus without reaching the AF manual button, which is available usually on the lens barrel. Because when you are not focusing the back focus button on the back of the camera, you just manually focus it and just click it. So it is a normal manual focus mode. And when you are pressing the back focus button, it is a autofocus mode. The second and the most important thing which I normally use it while you doing this is a wildlife photography or any other photography where a lot of moving subjects are moving in front of your lens, and the main subject is at the back in the background. So with the focus on button, you just lock to the focus, keep that pressed permanently, and even if somebody moves in front of your lens, the focus will not get shift from the main subject to some secondary subject which is not important to you in most of the cases. So this avoids the focusing errors mainly while shooting in a crowded environment, or even for the wildlife. If the branch comes in front of the animal, the camera will try to focus on the branch rather than locking on the background. So it helps you in that. The other thing is it you it has a lot of uh, effect when you are shooting a continuous burst mode and the subject to camera distance is not moving. If the subject is at particular distance from the camera, you have just locked the focus, just release the focus, and just use only the shutter button, release button to take the images.
Okay. So I have a question like to add to this. Will this actually work if you're shooting in, let's say, continuous shooting mode, burst shooting mode?
Yeah, yeah, it will work in the continuous shooting mode also. But in that you need to select the continuous shooting mode on the camera itself, not a single shot, not a single frame per second.
Okay. Okay. And will it also work if you're shooting, let's say, something like birds in flight and all?
See, if the bird or any subject which is stationary, it will work. But if there is the slightest movement between the subject and the camera, it is not going to work. So you have to keep on pressing the back focus on button at the back if the subject is moving.
Okay. Okay. So our last question of the day comes from Trivandrum by Parvati Rajendra. She says, I recently bought a new phone, but I'm facing issues while shooting. For instance, whenever I'm shooting on the street, I tend to miss out the action because my phone takes a moment to capture the image. What is the reason behind that, and how can I overcome it?
See, as you have already described, you have got a newer phone. So it is having that facility or the electronics built in, which will take care even in the low lighting. But there are some cameras, if you are shooting in full automatic mode in those cameras, even though your mobile phone is of the newer age, it will select the slower shutter speed because the ISO in the normal shooting or the auto shooting is not variable. It takes whatever 400, it can go maximum up to 400 or 600, which is not governed by the user. So naturally, in the low light or at that ISO, the device what you are using will tend to select the slower shutter speed to capture the light and the ambient to that. And there are the chances of missing the action in the image. So my suggestion is if it is a dedicated night mode, so there are a lot of cameras with the newer cameras, your camera phones especially will have a night mode for portraits. Forget about you are taking portrait or not, but still you can use that night mode to capture the action in low light or at night, and you will be able to get a decent sharp images, and you won't. There are very less chances of missing the action in your final shot.
Okay. So adding to that, one question that it come to me, whenever I shoot, let's say if it's bright daylight with my cell phone, I've seen that it takes a second to process. Like it's not gonna release the shutter when I'm pressing it. When I put my thumb out, that's when it's gonna release the shutter. Why is that happening?
See, that is the shutter lag, what we call actually. And rather than shutter lag, you are using the screen to activate shutter. Even that response, the electronic response of your tap and the command sent from your tap to the final camera module will have some delay. So you need to practice and or we'll say counteract for the delay and press the shutter release button earlier than you are predicting action after some moment. So that will solve your problem.
Okay. Okay. All right. Okay, thank you, Sridhar, and thank you everyone for joining us. This is a wrap of the latest episode. If you have any question, any query related to your cameras or your cell phones, please do send it to us on Instagram and Facebook, and using the hashtag Q&A with Sridhar Kunte. We'll see you guys next Friday.
Thank you, readers and viewers, for sending your questions. Looking forward with more questions during this the upcoming week, and see you next week. Thank you.